lawyer.
Sorry. Yes. Very
Uh,
good. Yes. So here we have. It is reported to be successful in workplaces where employees work shift, right? Very good. What about the second line? It says it's the next new thing. This is in paragraph number 1. What is the sentence? It is the next new thing. In paragraph number 1, what can we say? Let's go to paragraph number 1. So what can we say? Any of the lines that have the same meaning? No? This one, right? Apparently, it's the next new thing in red. So this is the line. Okay, very good. So apparently, it's the next new thing. What about this one? They offer shared desk space for freelance designer. This led to the enhanced sense of community. This is in paragraph number 3 in Nuria's part. This led to the enhanced of sense of community. In which part can you see this?
Graphic designer USA.
Again, please.
Mm,
In which part can you see this? ¿En qué parte podemos ver esa misma línea, pero con escrita de otra manera?
In the third paragraph, in the last
Yeah,
part.
they offered
Yes.
shared
This appeared to lead to an enhanced sense of community, right? Very good. So this is the next line. This appeared to lead to an enhanced sense of community. What about number 4? Space sharing leads to a more creative, dynamic, and fun atmosphere for all. This is in Nuria, paragraph number 4. What is the line here?
the last paragraph feature.
Okay, can
I
you read the
would
line?
suggest I would suggest that space sharing leads to a more creative, dynamic, and fun atmosphere for all.
Yes. I would suggest that space sharing leads to a more creative, dynamic, and fun atmosphere for all. Very good. What about number 5? Hot desking makes more efficient use of space. This is in paragraph 2 in Michael's part. What is the line here? What can we say?
It is claimed.
It is?
It is claimed that hot sky
It is claimed that hot desking
makes more efficient use of space.
yes, it is claimed that hot desking, a ver, where is this? I guess this is the hot desking might possibly, vamos a ver el texto. Yes, hot desking, it is claimed that hot desking makes more efficient use of space, right? This is the line. Okay, what about the next one? The next one says, hot desking, number 6, change isn't something that comes naturally. ¿Qué podríamos decir aquí?
Change
On the
doesn't seem to be. Change doesn't change doesn't seem to be.
Yes, change doesn't seem to be something that comes naturally. Very good. And then we have the next line that says, hot desking helps create clutter-free workspaces?
It's assuming that employees will be share.
Again, please.
It's assuming that employers will be happy to share.
It's assumed
That employees will be happy to share.
no, no, exactly.
On the scheme might possibly create possible free.
Yes, yes. Hot desking might possibly help create clutter-free workspaces, right? Very good. And what about the last one? The last one, all employees will be happy.
This is on the first part of our paragraph.
Yes, it is assumed that all employees will be happy to share. Okay, this is the last one. Okay, so as you can see, here we have the same ideas, but here we have some words in bold. For example, if this appeared to lead, I would suggest that hot desking might possibly, change doesn't seem to be, hot desking might possibly help, or it is assumed that all employees. Okay, so we are going to learn how to use these expressions in our speaking. Okay, so this is called hedging. Okay, hedging is a linguistic strategy for formal writing and speech. Okay, and we use this in different ways. We're going to check this in the following part. Okay, so here we have some verbs. For example, be claimed, be agreed, be believed, be considered, be reported, be assumed, and be suggested. Then we have appeared, seem, I would argue, would, could, might, can, may. Then we have apparently, seemingly, and arguably. Okay? So we're going to relate all this with the categories that we have here. For example, modal verbs, adverbs, passive voice, and other verbs. So which of them do you think are modal verbs? Which of them are modal verbs? What do you think, guys?
Would, could, might, can.
Very
Might
good. These are modal verbs, right? Would, could, might, may, can. Okay. What about adverbs? Which of them are adverbs?
Apparently,
Yes. Very good.
Currently,
Apparently, seemingly, arguably, right? Okay. What about passive voice? Which of them are in the passive voice?
Be claimed,
claim, be agreed, be
Yes,
reported.
all the others, right? Be claimed, be agreed. Okay, remember that we form the passive voice with the verb to be and a verb in the past participle, right? And other verbs we are going to use are this one: appear, seem, and I would argue. Okay, so these are all the expressions, all the verbs that we are going to use to do this technique, okay, to put in practice this linguistic strategy. So when do we use modal verbs? We use modal verbs to sound more hesitant, okay, para sonar no tan seguro de lo que estamos diciendo, okay. Creemos eso, pero no estamos tan seguros de que eso sea cierto, completamente cierto. Then we use adverbs to make statements less certain. También podemos utilizar los adverbios para que nuestras oraciones suenen menos seguras también. Entonces podemos utilizar modal verbs and adverbs para esta función, ¿ok? Pero los adverbs se utilizan al principio de la oración generalmente, y ya saben, los modal verbs se utilizan después del sujeto y antes de un verbo, ¿ok? Y luego tenemos la voz pasiva, the passive voice. We are going to use this passive voice to imply that an option is shared by many people. ¿Ok? O sea que esta idea que vamos a compartir no la piensa solo una persona, sino que muchas personas están de acuerdo en que esto es verdad. O todos consideran de que esto es verdad. Todos asumen que esto es verdad. Entonces, cuando muchas personas eh, piensan lo mismo, vamos a utilizar la voz pasiva. ¿Ok? ¿Y cuando vamos a utilizar estos otros verbos? We're going to use them to soften an opinion and make them less categorical. ¿Ok? Para que nuestra opinión no suene muy dura, muy directa, en realidad muy directa, y para hacerla un poco más suave. ¿Ok? Entonces vamos a utilizar todos estos verbos en el hedging para poder expresar nuestra opinión, pero que nuestra opinión no sea muy fuerte. ¿Ok? Entonces, aquí tenemos algunas oraciones. And you have to tell me how can I match these sentences with the functions. Okay, for example, here we have less certain, opinion shared by many people, soften opinion or less categorical, hesitant, no, sure. So here we have the sentences. It is thought that online classes are not as efficient as presential ones. Okay, number 2, it seems the companies are losing clients because of the pandemic situation. If the pandemic continues getting worse, jobs may be done from home. And apparently, companies are firing people because of the pandemic situation. So, which of them is less certain? ¿Cuál de estas es menos segura? La opinión es menos seguras que las demás. ¿Qué podríamos decir?
Number 4.
Number 4, okay. Yes, right, apparently. So we use these kind of adverbs when our opinion is not certain, okay. Cuando no estamos seguros de algo, podemos ocupar estos adverbios. Opinion shared by many people. ¿En cuál de las oraciones expresamos de que esta opinión es compartida o muchas personas piensan lo mismo?
It seems.
It
Number
seems.
This number
The
2.
second
Number? Number 2?
Number 2.
number 2.
Okay. Do you agree? Do you all agree? Okay,
The
remember
first one.
the first one, right? Remember when we talk about opinion shared by many people, we use the passive voice. The passive voice is the verb to be, is, and a verb in the past participle form. Okay? What about this one? Is soften an opinion. When we want to soften an opinion, make an opinion less categorical, we use it seems. It seems the companies are losing clients. And more hesitant. If the pandemic continues getting worse, jobs may be done from home. ¿Ok? Este es más, no estamos seguros de eso. ¿Ok? Entonces vamos a utilizar todas este tipo de expresiones para que podamos hacer algo un poco más formal o también para que nuestra opinión no sea tan directa. ¿Ok? So let's see here. Here we have the two questions. What is the difference between the two versions? ¿Recuerdan que teníamos dos versiones de cada uno? ¿Cuál es la diferencia? ¿Qué podríamos decir? What is the difference between these two versions? What could be the difference? For example, it is successful in workplaces where employees work shift. Y aquí tenemos, it is reported to be successful in workplaces where employees work shifts. ¿Cuál es la diferencia entre la primera y la segunda oración?
Passive voice.
Okay, we use the passive voice. Any other ideas? Okay, and in this part, in the first one, we are saying this is true. ¿Ok? En la primera estamos diciendo esto es verdad. It is successful in workplaces. Pero en la segunda estamos diciendo se dice que es verdad. ¿Ok? Entonces se dice que es exitoso. Entonces en la primera oración es algo más seguro, más directo, es una opinión más directa. Y en la segunda es algo no tan directo, ¿ok? Se cree, se dice, se reporta que, ¿ok? Lo mismo con el otro tipo de oraciones. Por ejemplo, it's the next new thing. Or apparently, it's the next new thing. What is the difference? ¿Cuál sería la diferencia? It's the next new thing, and apparently, it's the next new thing.
That is not sure.
Okay, this person is not sure, right? No es una opinión segura. En cambio, en esta opinión no hay dudas, ¿cierto? Decimos que es lo nuevo que hay. What about this one? This led to an enhanced sense of community. And this appeared to lead to an enhanced sense of community. ¿Cuál sería la diferencia? What do you think? It's the same, right? En la primera parte, this led to an enhanced sense of community. This led to an enhanced sense of community. Es algo más seguro. En cambio, en la segunda parte, this appeared to lead an enhanced sense of community. Significa que parece ser que, ¿ok? Es algo no tan seguro, ¿ok? Para hacer nuestra opinión un poco más suave. Luego, la número 4, space sharing leads to a more creative, dynamic, and fun atmosphere for all. ¿Ok? Lo mismo con esta oración. I would suggest that. Yo diría que. ¿Ok? Entonces, la opinión acá no es tan directa, sino es más suave. Y así como en estos ejemplos, en todos los demás ejemplos. ¿Ok? Cuando no utilizamos este tipo de palabras o este tipo de expresiones, nuestra opinión es más directa. Pero en cambio, cuando sí las utilizamos, puede ser más suave, no tan segura, ¿ok? O podemos expresar lo que otras personas piensan de esto, de este tema, ¿ok? So, we're going to use these sentences to complete here the grammar panel, ¿ok? Let's see. Hedging. We use hedging to avoid or to help making a statement a direct way. What do you think? To help making a statement a direct way or to avoid making a statement a direct way?
To avoid.
To
No.
avoid.
To avoid, right? We
Avoid.
avoid to make it in a direct way. Very good. Then we use it to distance ourselves from facts or opinion or emphasize agreement with facts and opinions. ¿Para qué lo ocupamos? ¿Para distanciarnos de esta opinión o para enfatizar de que nosotros estamos de acuerdo con esta opinión?
Distance.
Empathize.
To distance ourselves, right? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué distance? Porque estamos diciendo la opinión de otros. It is said, otras personas dicen, it is believed, it is claimed. Entonces no estamos diciendo, esta es mi opinión, sino estamos diciendo, otras personas piensan esto. Se dice que, se cree que, no estamos diciendo yo creo que, ¿ok? Entonces lo utilizamos para distanciarnos de esta opinión o de este hecho, ¿ok? Let's go to the next part. Vamos a hacer un poquito más chico. Ok. Hedging is often found in news, reports, and formal academic texts, but it is also common in speech, when the speaker wants to avoid sounding too. So when the speaker wants to avoid sounding too hesitant or categorical.
Categorical.
Categorical, right? Cuando la persona no quiere dar una opinión certera, ¿cierto? Sino que la persona quiere ser más agradable y que su opinión suene más suave, que no suene tan directa, tan dura. ¿Ok? Generalmente esto lo pueden utilizar los políticos, tal vez. ¿Ok? We use the modal verbs would, could, may, and can and might to make a statement sound more hesitant. Okay, for example, I think the word hot can be negative connotation for some people. Okay, como pueden ver, aquí estamos utilizando can have negative connotation. Okay, entonces aquí no estamos diciendo the word hot have negative connotation, sino estamos diciendo can have, puede tener. Entonces, aquí estamos diciendo que no estamos seguros de lo que estamos diciendo, que para algunos puede tener o no. ¿Ok? Entonces, cualquiera de estos modal verbs podríamos utilizarlos para sonar, para decir que no estamos seguros de algo. ¿Ok? Then we have the next one, be. We use the passive voice to show that an opinion is not ours, but is shared by many. ¿Okay? Una opinión no es nuestra, la opinión que vamos a dar no es nuestra, sino que esta opinión es compartida por muchas personas. We often, verbs we often use are claim, agree, believe, think, consider, report, assume, and suggest. For example, it is thought that hot desking makes more efficient use of space. Se piensa que, ok, no estoy diciendo yo pienso, no estoy diciendo I think that, sino que estoy diciendo se piensa que. It is thought that, ok, y lo mismo con los otros verbos. Se dice que, ok, se cree que, se reporta que, ok. Sí. We use verbs such as appear and seem and phrases such as I would agree to make a statement less categorical. Lo mismo, para hacer que nuestra opinión o lo que estamos diciendo no suene tan estoy de este lado, sino para hacerla más suave, ¿ok? It appears that hot desking is the next new thing. ¿Ok? Parece ser que... And D, we use adverbs such as arguably, seemingly, and apparently to make statements less certain. These generally go in initial or mid position. ¿Okay? Podríamos tenerlos acá al principio de la oración. For example, arguably, hot desking is detrimental to work atmosphere. ¿Ok? Entonces, al principio podríamos decir eso. Aparentemente, hot desking. ¿Ok? So, we are going to practice this hedging on page 122. Okay, so I want you to go to page 122. Exercise 3.1. 3.1. Look at the pair of sentences and mark the one in each pair that is more hesitant and underline the hedging devices. Okay, so number one, apparently the color of the walls in your workplace could influence your mood and productivity more than you might think. The color of the wall in your workplace influence your mood and productivity more than you think. So which of these sentences do you think is more hesitant?
A.
A, right? Sentence A. Okay, so what is the hedging device that we are using here?
Apparently.
Apparently, right? Very good. Apparently, we are using an adverb, right? What about number 2? Let's go to number 2. Playing music, classical music in the background has you work as an adverse effect of the quality of your work. Playing classical music is in the background as you work may have an adverse effect on the quality of your work. So which of them is more hesitant?
B.
B.
B, right? What is the hedging device?
May.
May
May
have.
May, right? May is the hedging device. This is a modal verb, right? What about number 3? It is claimed that taking short breaks to chat with colleagues or have a cup of coffee may be more positive than was previously thought. And taking short breaks to chat with colleagues or have a cup of coffee is more positive than was previously thought. Which is more hesitant?
A.
A.
A, right? What is the hedging device?
It's claim.
It is claimed that. Very good. And also, may be positive. Tal vez sea positivo. En cambio, acá decimos is more positive. ¿Cierto? Entonces, aquí tenemos algunos para sonar más, no tan directa, nuestra opinión no tan directa. Okay? So we are going to practice exactly the same in this exercise number 3. Okay? Make the sentences less direct by using the words in parentheses. For example, number 1, getting the work or getting the life balance right is very important. So what can we say here? How can we make this opinion less direct? ¿Qué podríamos decir para que sea menos directo? Tenemos que utilizar believe en este ejemplo. ¿Qué podríamos decir?
It is believed
It is
that
believed
getting the
that
work-life balance right is very important.
Okay. Work-life balance is very important. Okay. Is there any other way in which we can use believe in this sentence to make it less direct? ¿Alguna otra forma en la que podamos decir? Any other way?
I think. But it's think.
It is thought. Pero
Yes.
tenemos que ocupar believe en esta oración. ¿Alguna otra forma en la que podamos decirlo?
I will believe.
will
I would believe. Okay, could be. Or we can say getting the work-life balance is believed to be very important. Getting the work-life balance, it is believed to be very important. ¿Ok? También podríamos utilizarlo de esta forma. El it is believed podríamos utilizarlo también en la segunda parte de la oración. Pero en esta parte ya no tenemos que utilizar it is believed that, sino to be. Very important. Okay, this is the other option. Let's go with sentence number 2. Okay. Sentence number 2 says, hot desking is something new, but I think it is an old idea. ¿Cómo podríamos poner would appear en esta oración? ¿Qué podríamos decir?
I will suggest
Would appear tenemos que utilizar.
would appear.
Parece ser, would appear.
I would appear hot desking.
I would appear, yo parezco ser.
No.
It
Hot desk
It,
would
Hot
appear.
Hot desking, right?
But would appear as an old idea.
Again, please. Hot desking.
Is something new, but it could appear as an old idea.
Idea. Not exactly. Any other ideas? Hot desking
would
Would
appear.
appear.
would appear something
As
new.
something.
Would appear something new, but
But
I think
it's
it's
an old idea.
an old idea. Okay, hot desking would appear something new. Pareciera ser algo nuevo, pero es una idea antigua, okay? Or también podríamos decir would appear to be something new. Pareciera ser una idea nueva o algo nuevo. Hot desking would appear to be something new, but I think it is an old idea. Okay, very good. Let's go to sentence number 3. Okay. Many people argue that freelance work is the best option these days because you don't need to go to the office at all. What can we say? Bear your microphone, please. What can we say here with arguably?
Arguably, many people.
Arguably, many people. No, no podríamos decir arguably many people that freelance. ¿Qué podríamos decir?
We can use passive voice. Arguably, freelance work is no.
Maybe we
But-
can. Yes. We can start with freelance. ¿Qué podríamos decir? Freelance work. Freelance work.
can be arguably
Again, please.
freelance
Arguably
work
significa posiblemente.
Arguably, freelance work, arguably.
Arguably.
Is arguably.
Is arguably. Is arguably.
No.
Freelance work is arguably. The best option, right? These days. freelance work is arguably the best option these days because you don't need to go to the office at all. El trabajo independiente es posiblemente la mejor opción estos días. Okay, we can use this. What about sentence number 4?
It seems having your own desk
It seems having,
parece.
it seems having. ¿Cuál sería el sujeto de su oración? En esta, having your own desk is an old-fashioned concept these days. ¿Cuál sería el sujeto de esta oración número 4?
Own desk.
Desk.
Yes.
Not exactly. So, having your own desk es nuestro sujeto, ¿cierto?
Having your own desk.
Ujú.
It seems
Having
your own desk.
own desk. ¿Qué más?
It seems. It
Ya
seems.
no podríamos poner it seems. ¿Por qué?
Having,
Porque having es it. It es having, entonces no podríamos poner it seems. Directamente seems.
Seems to be.
To be, seems to be an old-fashioned
An old.
concept these days.
concept these days. Very good. A known old-fashioned concept these days. Ok. Entonces, having your own desk es nuestro sujeto y es it. Ok, entonces por eso ya no podemos it seems de nuevo, solamente seems. Ok. Let's go to the next one. Number 5. What can we say here? With hot desk in office life, life will never be the same again. And we need to use would argue. What can we say?
With hot desk in office, I will argue life will never be the same again.
Okay, yes, we can use with hot desk in office. I would argue life would never will be the same again. Or we can start with I would argue también, ¿cierto? Entonces diríamos I would argue that with hot desking office y el resto de la opción. Life will never be the same again. I would argue that with hot desking office, life will never be the same again. Okay, so we are going to continue practicing this in the workbook. Let's go to the workbook. I want you to go to page 18 and you are going to do exercise number 1 and 2. Okay?